William Cowper, spelled C-O-W-P-R, was born in 1731 and became a very well-known in his day English poet. But he's best known to us today, whether you know his name or not, as a hymn writer. What you may not know about William Cowper is that he struggled mightily with depression. In fact, not just light affliction, he struggled with debilitating depression. He spent some of his early life in an insane asylum because of his mental disorders. But through the providence of God, he moved to a town named Olney, where he met and developed a very close relationship with a man by the name of John Newton. Now that name may ring a bell. John Newton had been in his previous days a captain of a slave ship. He had come to know Jesus, and when Cowper came to know him, Newton had become a pastor and passionate evangelist for the gospel and was ministering there in Olney. Newton was putting together a hymn book, and he invited Cowper to contribute to it. Newton's hymn book would include some of the hymns that continue to bless the church today. You may have heard of Amazing Grace. It was first published in that hymn book. You may be familiar with my favorite hymn, There Is a Fountain Filled with Blood. That's a Cowper hymn. It was included in that hymn book. But the hymn that most moves me is one of Cowper's hymns titled, God Works in a Mysterious Way. And the reason why it moves me is because, in no small part, when I read the lyrics of that hymn, remembering that it was written by a man whose every single day this side of heaven was a struggle just to breathe. Every single day for William Cowper was a difficult moment of great debilitating depression. He was thankful for the days he could get out of bed, but some days he couldn't even leave his bedroom. When you read those lyrics, you can hear in them someone who was tenaciously struggling just to make life go, and yet was believing and trusting in the providence and the sovereignty of God. I want you to listen to the lyrics. God moves in a mysterious way, his wonders to perform. He plants his footsteps in the sea and rides upon the storm. Deep in unfathomable mines of never-failing skill, he treasures up his bright designs and works his sovereign will. Ye fearful saints, fresh courage take. The clouds ye so much dread are big with mercy and shall break in blessings on your head. Judge not the Lord by feeble sense, but trust him for his grace. Behind a frowning providence, he hides a smiling face. His purpose will ripen fast, unfolding every hour. The bud may have a bitter taste, but sweet will be the flower. Blind unbelief is sure to err and scan his work in vain. God is his own interpreter, and he will make it plain. These are the words of a man who could not understand why his experience on this earth was filled with such despair and difficulty, and struggled to believe in faith, but declared with confidence in the Lord. Judge not the Lord by feeble sense, but trust him for his grace. Behind a frowning providence, in other words, it looks bad right now, he hides a smiling face. I know the Lord's love is steadfast. Like the psalmist, he believed the word of God and put his trust in the promises of God alone. And dear friends, that remains for us today. Emotions will lead you astray. Feelings will tell you a lie. The truth of God stands forever and will bless you